All right. Greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. It's another natural light kind of day, and it's a little bit cooler today, thankfully. Mercifully. It's a little cooler. There's a bit of cloud cover in the sky, and I think it's just keeping the heat down, which is so very nice. So it's not quite as uncomfortable as it was the last couple of days. So, you know. Here we are. We back. And what's up, everybody coming into the chats? I see you, Rockfinners. Hello. Us Rockfinners sliding on through. Twitter people, if you're on Twitter, you know what to do. You know what to do. Like the video, repost the video. Send me a chat from the Twitter space. Twitter spaces. Ooh, France is getting smacked. Smacked around by some heavy weather. We need rain, says Contemplative Pragmatist. Max says, we seen that cloud cover, they spray it on. That's my initial thought. I haven't paid particular attention to the activity, so I was just kind of busy doing things today, and I just, I peeked at my eyeballs outside a few times, like, oh, there's some clouds in the sky. That's nice, keeping the sun down. Shanice here, J.A. Moniker, Gigabane, people. All the people. All right. Oh, I forgot to do my thing. At the top of the show. I won't forget. But maybe it doesn't have the same impact. That's okay. Here we are.
Unbelievable. It's true? You're kidding. Oh my God. That is unbelievable. It's true? It's true. Oh my God.
President Biden and former President Donald Trump are both dead as hell.
Goddamn right, it's a beautiful day. Goddamn right, it's a beautiful day.
These old dudes both died at the same time. Now we don't have to think about them anymore. I know everyone is relieved at that.
I am feeling great.
Today, the presidential frontrunners died of natural causes on the toilet shitting out their old doo-doo asses.
Goddamn right, it's a beautiful day.
Oh my God. Joe Biden and Donald Trump are going to the grave.
Goddamn right, it's a beautiful day.
You're kidding. Oh my God. That is unbelievable.
That Bernie Sanders plays such a prominent role in this video. I don't think that he approved of this message. I'm not sure that he did. I wonder if he was... I don't know who made this video. It says from Justin T. Brown. Is it the same guy that posted it? Who made this video? Let's see. Justin T. Brown made it, I guess. I'm betting that Bernie Sanders did not approve of this message, but it's funny nonetheless. Funny nonetheless. I don't know why they included Bernie in that, but it's kind of hilarious. Good times. All right, what else are we talking about today? What else are we talking about? The White House is pushing geoengineering. I was just listening to a podcast with someone talking about geoengineering, and did you know? So there's all this talk about Tennessee passing the anti-geoengineering law and how it's super MAGA and crazy. It's, Tennessee, but what everyone probably doesn't know, as I stutter it out, is that 29, now over 30 states have anti-geoengineering laws in the pipeline. 30 states. So not so crazy. Of those states include Minnesota, Illinois, what's another blue state, typically blue state? There was another one in there. There's a few states in there that are what would be considered blue states. I don't know. And now I don't know if this is a grassroots movement. The person I was listening to was indicating that this might possibly be organized, but I don't know. It's interesting that there are anti-geoengineering laws in the pipeline. California has been doing it for a long time. They say they can make more rain. Well, but there's been testimony on the Capitol floor regarding geoengineering, so they know about it, or they know that people are concerned about it. But it's interesting. It is interesting. So we're going to talk about geoengineering. The White House pushing geoengineering, and we all have known for years how dangerous that idea can be. We've been talking about it when I do the book readings. We've been talking about it extensively because it's a prominent part of the Ministry for the Future. They talk about it extensively. What else are we going to talk about? Some people bought a baby onto a boat in 120 degree weather, and that baby died. So don't bring your babies out in 120 degree weather. Just stay your butt at home, okay? Or your elderly parental units. Don't take them out in 120 degree weather. And we'll be talking about, extreme weather, of course. All that is coming to you on Black Bear News. Interesting times. We live in interesting times. Well, let's look at this article first. And Hempcar threw this at me yesterday. White House is pushing ahead research to cool Earth by reflecting back sunlight. So already we're going to get into... This is from 2022, by the way. 2022. So not a new article or a new concept. And I'm going to say... right away to push research. Ha 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 ha. They want you to think like, well, we don't know how it works, and it's a new thing, and we're going to try to discover how it works. And a lot of people, most people aren't even paying attention, right? Most people are trying to go to work and pay the bills. Most people can barely comprehend what's flashing by them on their phone screens or the TV screens. What happened? Oh, that's crazy. It's hilarious. Yesterday, I overheard a conversation of two very these were two very wealthy people, and they seemed like your typical wealthy Los Angeles Democrat voting, right? Stalwart blue wealthy people in LA. It's the best way I can describe them. And they were just parroting, what CNN now is doing with Joe Biden is obviously unfit for office and he's got to go. They were just parroting the same thing. They were making jokes about it, and they're like, this guy is, non-compos mentis, and he's out of his mind, and he's not able to serve, and he's obviously got to go. And I was just like, I was trying to keep the chuckle off my face as I listened to these people talk, because I was like, okay. Just don't want to laugh right at you. What'd you get all that from CNN? Wow. But you thought Joe Biden was totally on his rocker before, so. Anyways. Hilarious. Hilarious times. So let's look at this article. First of all, the research has been done long ago and is still ongoing. There's plenty of research. If they knew how to make it rain during the Vietnam War, if they knew how to kill all the leaves off the trees in the Vietnam War, if they knew how to do, they have been using, warfare tactics and studying warfare tactics like this for a long time, right? They were making it rain in Vietnam, among other things. And so if they were really, pushing hard on using weather as a weapon, how long ago was that? 50 years ago? 60 years ago? Well, they know a lot more about it now, right? And I don't mean, I'm not saying that geoengineering is, I'm not in the, I don't know where I stand on the, they're spraying us with all the stuff. I don't know where I stand on all that, but I know that they're doing something, and I know that they know everything that they could possibly know about it already. So the idea that they're going to do research on this is laughable. And it's just, this whole headline is meant to make you feel like, what, really? Oh, that could be dangerous. I hope they do a good job and don't mess anything up. You know what I mean? This is for the slightly clueless who might, wander into a conversation and go, oh, yeah, I heard about that geoengineering. Yeah, heard they were looking at it real hard at Harvard. Okay. The White House Office of Science and Technology Policy is coordinating a 5-year research plan to study ways of modifying the amount of sunlight that reaches the Earth in order to temporarily temper the effects of global warming. I think all of this is meant to kind of slowly walk everybody into the idea that they've been doing it, right? Or a way to just be able to do it out in the open and not, not have to. But imagine 50 years after they've been studying this stuff for a long time, and 50 years later, imagine how far down the road they are of understanding exactly how things work and different ways to do different things, right? Imagine. There are several kinds of sunlight reflection technology being considered. Do tell, including stratospheric aerosol injection, marine cloud brightening, and cirrus cloud thinning. Stratospheric aerosol injection involves spraying an aerosol like sulfur dioxide in the stratosphere, and because it has the potential to affect the entire globe, often gets the most attention. While arguments of moral hazard have handicapped research efforts. Ha ha, ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. Wait. Oh my God. I don't know why I'm not even ready with this. Here we go. Let's back it on up. While arguments of moral hazard have handicapped research efforts. The idea is getting more urgent attention as the worsening climate crisis. In the worsening climate crisis. The White House is coordinating a 5-year research plan to study ways of modifying the amount of sunlight that reaches the Earth to temper the effects of global warming, a process sometimes called solar geoengineering or sunlight reflection. The research plan, but if you think that they're already doing it, you are a complete batshit loony nutter. Okay? You're completely out of your mind. But they're studying it. And, you know, for moral reasons, they can't really get into it, you know. The research plan will assess climate interventions, including spraying aerosols into the stratosphere. What's necessary to analyze the atmosphere and what impact these kinds of climate interventions may have on Earth. According to the White House's Office of Science and Technology Policy, Congress directed the research plan be produced in its spending plan for 2022, which Biden signed in March. Some of the techniques, such as spraying sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, are known to have harmful effects on the environment and human health. But that never stopped anybody from creating a drug, a product, a technology that harmed human health before without really fully studying it. That never stopped anybody before in the capitalist world, right? But somehow, you know, the scientists were hampered. Okay. Getting ready to research a topic is a very preliminary step, but it's notable the White House is formed. It's just silly to me. I'm not going to read much of this, though. Oh, they mentioned Ministry for the Future. And Kim Stanley Robinson's science fiction novel, The Ministry for the Future, a heat wave in India kills 20 million people. And out of desperation, India decides to implement its own strategy of limiting the sunlight that gets to Earth. Also, Bill Gates has spoken openly about these kinds of schemes. Other people have as well. Chris Sacca, the founder of climate tech investment fund Lower Carbon Capital, says it's prudent for the White House to be spearheading the research effort. I mean, come on, guys. How long has Keith David, is it Keith David or David Keith? David Keith. Keith David is an actor. How long has David Keith, and who's the other guy from Harvard? You guys know who I'm talking about. I can't recall his name right now. They're always, this has been, year after year for at least the last, 8 years, I guess, that I've been paying attention. Maybe longer. That I've seen articles come out about how they're getting ready to do tests to test it out. Then they pass this thing in 2022. Okay, we're going to get ready to test it out. stuff like that. Then there's a random company in Mexico that is doing it just on the random, and they have to shut it down. Mexico outlaws anybody doing stuff like that in Mexico. Now we have 30 or more states in the United States that have banning of geoengineering laws that are in the pipeline and or passed. I don't know. It seems like it's a pretty well-known technology, right? It seems like the idea I am just tired. I'm tired of the idea that we just don't know how it works, and it needs more study. How long are they going to study it? Or are they going to do something? Here's the scenario, I guess. Are they going to do something like Ministry for the Future, where it's like we have a really incredible heat wave, a bunch of people die, or something, some catastrophe happens, and the U.S. or some other government decides we're gonna we're going to try it out. We know it's risky, but we've got to do something, right? Which is kind of the scenario in Ministry for the Future. Anyways, they're fully. I think Hempcar was saying that, Biden is worse for the environment than Trump, because probably Trump wouldn't do this, but I don't agree. I don't agree with that. He might say he's against it and verbally say he's against it, but Trump says a lot of things but does other things, right? And we know that. He's like any other president. Said a bunch of stuff on the stage, made a bunch of promises. So he actually, I'll give Trump this. He actually did some things that he said he was going to do. Some things. He also did a bunch of things that he said he wasn't going to do. So there's that. Anyways. Bill Gates, who shouldn't have any authority over messing with the weather, Steph C, right? Why are we listening to this guy on anything? Why are we listening to him talk about health or vaccines or, what does this guy have to do with the price of tea in China? Bill Gates, shut the F up and go away. Just take all your money and go away. Dude, you have a lot of money. You have like a lifetime, millions of lifetimes worth of money. Go away. Tea. That's my proper tea. My proper tea. All right. Let's keep going. Yeah, no, I saw that going south. I saw that the suite. So they were going to do David Keith. So years ago, well, I've been talking about this on my channel for years. I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago. They were like, we're going to gear up. We're gearing up for some tests in Arizona. And then like 2 years later, they're like, well, we can't do it in Arizona. We're going to do it in Sweden. And then like, 3 years later, they're like, well, we're not doing it at all in Sweden. And people are concerned. People are concerned about the effects of geoengineering. Rightly so. They should be concerned. I think people have enough knowledge of the issue to know that like maybe we shouldn't do that. So there's a Zoom group going south. They where people are talking about geoengineering. Mexico also banned him. Yeah, I'm sure. Sounds interesting. Is anybody in that group talking about the fact that they're already doing it? They're doing something. They're already putting at least at the very least they're putting cloud cover up, because they're absolutely doing that. That is an absolute fact, that they're laying out clouds that spread out and they're long lasting, and they shield people from some of the effects of the sun, or reflect some. I absolutely am sure of that, because I can see it happening with my own eyes, and several people confirm that. You have thousands of people who watch this happening, and they're like, oh yeah, I totally see what they're doing. You're talking about it? That's good. Yeah, good. I mean, let's be real. Let's speak the truth. Let's be honest. It's another thing that people cannot wrap their minds around. Like, oh no, they would not. I mean, the idea that these people act on some version of ethics and morality is just, I don't know. Go watch a Disney movie or something. I think that's more up your alley. Let's see. Well, they're doing that. Oh, the Unstoppable says, when they lay clouds, has anyone else noticed the film on your car, truck's windows? I mean, I just kind of, like my car gets a layer. I just call it dirt or dust, but I don't know. Could be. It's actually a fairly, I don't know what to call it. It's kind of sticky, right? It's kind of like sticks to the car. Like I actually really have to like get it off the car. I don't know if that's part of it. I'm not sure. I mean, I think, well, if you can watch something happen over and over again, Free Parsons, you know, I mean, if you watch a phenomena happen, you know, I think, you know, and if you can see it, you know, directly happening in front of you, and there's nothing that you can really mistake it, you know, there's nothing else that you can mistake it for. I think it's pretty good evidence. But it's not just me. I'm not the only person that sees what's happening. I mean, a lot of people see what's happening. A lot of people see what's happening. And I think that carries some weight. I think it carries a lot of weight. Bella says, I've seen that. But, you know, do I know exactly what they're doing? No, I don't. But human perception should count for something. I think it should, right? If you see a phenomenon happening, I don't know. That's the only downfall to me saying what I'm saying is that it's something that I can observe with my eyes, but you see, you know, if you have spent several days witnessing planes leave contrails that stay in the sky and turn into clouds, and you see them lay contrails right in front of the path of the sun, you know, over and over and over and over again, not just like one day, like over years, you see that phenomenon. What else could you call that? I mean, at what point is it more strange behavior to just go, that's nothing, or that's just coincidence? I don't know. I don't know what someone needs for it to be. Well, Free Parsons, just a question for you. What would you need to be convinced that something like that is happening? I mean, I don't know. You know, is there something, you know, that would, you know, resolve that question in your mind for you, or is there something that would be a proof? Yeah, Gene. Well, that's the standard answer. It's condensation, but well, okay. Here's my I'll get over this because we've had a lot of conversations about this. But my last statement on that, Gene, is that they understand that planes produce long-lasting contrails, which turn into clouds. They understand that. There's a NASA website that says, "Hey, we know that contrails, you know, turn into long-lasting clouds." If you knew that these long-lasting clouds created, you know, shade or reflection, would you not? Why would, you know? Again, why wouldn't the powers that be use that knowledge to, you know? Why wouldn't they try to control that or do something with that? That's my question. And again, you know, let's leave out the well, they wouldn't do that because it's morally, ethically, it's against the, you know. Okay, let's leave all that out because they do things that are against the law every single day. They do it in their sleep. They don't even have to be awake or functioning to do things against the law. They do that all the time. I've shown that article several times, Gene, on this show. Anyways, Free Parsons. I agree that we have reason to investigate further, but a systematic review would be helpful if we could mark and document when where the contrails occur. We could eliminate some naturalistic options. Okay. Fair enough. I appreciate the answer. All right, let's move on from this. I don't want to spend all day talking about the contrails. It's an interesting subject, though, I must say. And it's a big one. And it's also not that far-fetched. Because why? Because they talk about it all the time. It's been something that people have talked about for decades. Well, geoengineering, what about that? Could we do that to cool the earth? Right? It's an idea that, somebody's been talking about for a long time. What if we cooled the earth with geoengineering? It has been a subject of conversation for a long time. So I don't think it's that far off the let's see. Hold on 1 second. One moment. Oh, here, Gene. I'm going to read you an AI answer to my search. This is from whatever this AI is. Long-lasting contrails are visible trails of condensed water vapor that form behind aircraft at high altitudes. Usually, they persist for a few seconds to several minutes. However, under certain circumstances, contrails can persist for hours or even days. This is often the case when the air is humid, as the water vapor in the air helps to sustain the contrail. In these conditions, the contrail can spread and become a large, sprawling, cirrus cloud. Oh, you found the NASA article? Great. I'm just reading through a little bit for you. Anyways. So they know that this phenomena can happen. There's that. Let's see. So this is from this video we're watching. This is from Bauska, Latvia yesterday. They're getting ransacked by the weather gods. The weather god's not happy with Latvia. What did you do, Latvia? This is a very sad story. Yeah, Gene, until they become difficult to distinguish from naturally occurring cirrus clouds. Exactly. A 4-month-old baby in Arizona was killed after her parents brought her out on a boat in 120-degree heat. No charges have been filed. They started a GoFundMe and raised $50,000. Now, I don't want to make light of somebody's tragedy like this, and it's horrific. I'm sure that anybody who has had a child, die of SIDS or, I'm sure that people that leave their kids in their car don't mean to do it. And it is a horrific thing, I'm sure, to go through. But it's not really that smart. It's not really that smart to bring a kid out on a $120 boat. Anyways, Indiana Jones says, or Indiana Jones says they aren't being charged with negligence or anything because the husband is a cop. Whoa. The husband is a cop. Dang. Oh, that sucks. That's a horrible story. That is a horrible story. Well, if you're a cop, you're above the law, right? Nobody's above the law except for cops, politicians, CEOs. Anybody who works for the intelligence, nobody's above the law except for half the country. Here, more evidence that they're gonna boot Biden. It's ramping up. It's coming. I was thinking this today, though. Imagine if they had to use the 25th Amendment to get Biden out of office. Wouldn't that be ironic? Because they spent so much time talking about getting Trump out of office with the 25th. And how many things have happened under Biden that were supposed to happen under Trump? We're going to get into a war. All the countries of the earth are going to laugh at us and not want anything to do with us. That's happened under Biden. The petrodollar went away. Saudi Arabia said, get out of my face. We're backing two, horrific conflicts going on the planet, and we're trying to start another one. Roe versus Wade, like all of these things. Granted, Trump paved the way for these things to happen, as did all the other presidents before him. Paved the way for all these things to happen. But it's interesting and it's ironic. And I wouldn't doubt that we are going to see some people start talking about the 25th Amendment. We got to get Biden out of here. And he won't go of his own accord. He just will, because he's out of his mind. He can't think. So he's going to have to get gone. Anyways, major Democrat donors to the largest pro-Biden super PAC have frozen $90 million in pledged donations, per the New York Times, until Joe Biden steps down. Dong, dong, dong. It's Coitens for you, Joe Biden. Coitens. Reports say a coordinated Democrat rebellion will be underway in the next 48 hours. Oh, my God.
Coordinated Democratic rebellion. Breaking this hour, New York Times reporting donors have told the largest pro-Biden super PAC that roughly $90 million in pledges are now frozen if Biden remains at the top of the ticket. But this may only be the beginning. Reports claim a coordinated Democratic rebellion is set to unfold during a brutal 48-hour stretch for Biden. An 18th Democrat lawmaker just called for Biden's exit 90 minutes ago. And now we're learning that President Biden privately met with White House Minority Leader Jeffries after his solo press conference last night, where he made several embarrassing mistakes on the world stage. Hello, everyone.
He called Zelensky Putin. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, you're right, Shawnee. Yeah, they use the nice guy president to carry out the dirtiest agendas. Yes, they do. That's what they do. The Democrats are the good cop, and the Republicans are the bad cop. You can only get so many things done being the bad cop, right? Until people go like, ugh. Ugh. Bro. Calm down. You're being a little aggressive, right? And then they bring the good cop in. They're like, we're going to do all this stuff. But everybody's like, oh, my God, the good cop is here. Man, I like this guy. He's nice. He called Kamala Vice President Trump. Yes, he's a natural. All right. Bella says, water vapor is a potent greenhouse gas, but when it's condensing, it blocks incoming solar radiation. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. All right. Texas is still having problems with lack of power. So more fallout from Beryl. It just keeps on going. Over 1 million Texas households are still without power as extreme heat and triple-digit temperatures continue. Man. Also, Vermont. Remember when I was talking about the fact that the hurricanes now just seem to go on and on and on over land for a long period of time, when that is not the way hurricanes behave in the past. Right. New York City a few years ago got flooded out from the remnants of a hurricane, and now Vermont getting the same treatment, getting some floods from the storm that was Hurricane Beryl. The same area of Vermont. So here it is. That saw some flooding a year ago. It's getting it again. India is getting it as well. Indian Army conducts rescue operations in Shahjahanpur, Uttar Pradesh, even as heavy rains and lightning incidents claim 42 lives across the state. What? Across the state. Heavy rains and lightning incidents. Another gift from climate change. Free Parsons says Paul Beckwith just had a video about the upper troposphere changing and causing hurricanes to reach category 6 or 7 soon. Lee. I mean, I don't doubt it. The planet's going to change in ways that we are not ready for. A lot of people are not ready for the changes that are coming our way. This is also in India. I like the discussions in the chat on this channel. Today, Huashan Anhui was hit by heavy rain and floods with 253 millimeters of rainfall in 24 hours. Oh, you guys can't see this. Yes, you can. Guys, if you enjoy the show coming to you most days for free 99, well, every day that the show comes to you, it's free 99. I don't know what this is. I didn't mean to search a B. Here we go. If you enjoy the show, if you enjoy what it brings you in your life, consider, and you want to support the show, financially, I would most definitely appreciate that, because it actually helps me continue to have the wherewithal to keep doing the show. And you can find the links to do that in the description box of either YouTube, Rockfin. If you're on Twitter, you can go on over to YouTube and Rockfin. If you want to look for the donation links, they're all there: PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, etc., etc. Zelle is swell. Coffees. Oz bought me a coffee. Thanks, Oz. Oz says, keep me sane. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Oz. I wasn't thanking myself. That's what Oz said. Cool. Pat Labar on Rockfin says, Trump on January 6th says, I'll be going away for a while. So who are we seeing? I don't know, man. I don't know. Is everybody a clone or a stand-in? Who knows, man? Who knows? I do have a cooler day here, Brenda. Yeah, it's not nearly as miserable as it was the last few days. It's actually downright comfortable. I'm not mad at today at all. It's the whole day has been. I've actually. It's so nice today that I've had a hard time getting motivated, and so yeah, I've just been kind of like, ooh, feels good. I'm just gonna chill out, and hang out, and drink coffee and stuff, and look at the computer. Bella says Uncle Warren mentioned you on the show this morning. Nice. That's cool. Extra Bulla. Appreciate the love. All right, let's look at this post. Sarah Connor. The data centers powering AI will not only require immense amounts of energy, but they consume millions of gallons of water, and this number is growing. Yeah, technology, not so good for the earth, is it? I mean, I love all this technology, but do we need all the AI, the massive, the sprawling entire states being covered in massive sprawling data centers to power AI? Do we need that? Can we actually have it? Is the question. I mean, where is this all going? If we're using just exponentially more energy every year, we just see these explosions in energy use and water use and resource use, to power all of our technology. Like, how long is that sustainable? I'm sure everybody has opinions on that. I would probably guess not very long. Well, let's see. Last thing we'll talk about today. Hey, I appreciate you guys keeping it conversational in the chats, and I'm really happy to see the debates going on. I mean, I think that's a higher purpose for this show, is to have a little bit of back and forth. And to maybe, go to places where we're not always comfortable, right? Conceptually. It's okay. Debate sparks ideas, says Gigabane. That's right. Well, and debate is, I think, a healthy part of life, right? If we can't debate things, how are we going to learn things? right? And I think that, right, to hamper, to impinge on debate, to shut it down, because I think that's not a healthy way for people to go forward in the world. So there might be ideas out there we don't like, but, you know, we can't really impinge on people's right to say them or think them, you know. And that's just kind of where I stand with that. From David Wallace Wells, it's clear that landfill gas carries forever chemicals. He adds, that is no longer debatable. I just said debates are good, David Wallace Wells. Are you trying to contradict me? How dare you? Let's look at this. He said it's no longer debatable. Timothy Martin says, not really a debate. Finite planet, unlimited growth. What's the debate? I got you. I got you there. Landfills belch toxic forever chemicals into the air. Great. The systems that collect landfill gas weren't designed to manage or destroy volatile PFAS or PFAS, however you want to say it. I've seen it said both ways. What's dumped into a landfill is supposed to stay there, but a new study finds that toxic forever chemicals are wafting from the waste into the air. Oh my. Per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, or PFAS, have been detected in the gas exuded by some Florida landfills. Of course, Florida. Gosh. Come on. In quantities comparable to or even greater than in the liquids that seep from the waste. Yuck. Researchers report June 26 in Environmental Science and Technology Letters. These chemicals have been linked to cancer, weakened immune systems, developmental problems in children, and a tide of other harmful health effects. You do not want to breathe in the PFAS. No. The discrepancy between landfill liquid and gas is significant because compared with the systems that collect runoff or leachate, the systems that collect gas are nowhere near as efficient, says environmental engineer Ashley Lynn of University of Florida in Gainesville. Moreover, the portion of the gas that is captured on site is not typically treated in ways intended to destroy PFAS, she says. The real concern is with how we manage this really concentrated gas that we're pulling off. PFAS molecules contain resilient links of carbon and fluorine atoms, which contribute to the resistance to heat, grease, and water resistance, as well as to the widespread use in consumer products such as raincoats, cosmetics, and nonstick cookware. But those bonds also cause PFAS to linger in the environment, with some forms taking more than 1,000 years to degrade. Unsurprisingly, researchers have found that these forever chemicals gather within most, if not all, U.S. landfills and their leachates. For instance, a 2023 EPA report indicated that leachates from more than 95% of 200 landfills across the country contained PFAS, identifying 63 different types of PFAS across the sites. But few studies have investigated what types and quantities of PFAS are escaping into landfill gas. For the new study, Lynn and her colleagues sampled and analyzed gas from 3 municipal solid waste sites. Of the 27 types of PFAS they checked for, 13 were detected with combined concentrations of up to 210 to 940 parts per trillion A single class of PFAs that typically exists in the gas state called floral telomer alcohols dominated the PFAs in the samples, reaching concentrations that were somewhat comparable to those in fumes from soil near a PFAS manufacturing facility, the researchers note. Oh boy. The team also sampled leachate from each landfill, but since those samples harbored different types of PFAS than the gas, the researchers compared how much of a common PFAS building block fluorine the leachate and gas samples contained. They found that comparable amounts of fluorine from PFAS were being released from the waste into leachate and gas, and at one site, roughly 3 times as much was escaping into the gas. No, say it ain't so. Yes, I did report the other day. Lithium-ion batteries are giving off PFAS as well. Yeah. It's everywhere, guys. It is everywhere, y'all. Oh, got a super chat from Tor. Thank you, man. Thank you, Tor Werner. Appreciate you. I'm going to check in and see if I have anybody else to thank. And then I unfortunately have to go away, guys. And I'll probably see you on Monday if I don't pop in for a book reading this weekend. But I'm not sure about that. Looking less likely. But I will definitely see you all on Monday. Alrighty. Cool. All right. I think just Tor and Oz the boomer, claiming it. Oh, I got a tip here. 333. Nice. Who's this from? Shani gave me a 333 tip. Nice. Thanks, Shani. All right, guys. If anybody knows the significance of, I'm sure everybody does. I don't know. Do I need to spell it out? All right, guys. Y'all are super cool. Super fun. Thank you for your eyes, your ears, and your conscience. And definitely thank you for the conversation. And until next time, peace.